Good evening, and welcome to the Monday, November 16th meeting of the Redevelopment Commission. I am stepping in for Brody this evening, and to my left, members Rhonda, and to her left is Gordon, and we have staff here, Tim Gropp and Tim Ramian, and also our school board appointee, Dr. Terry Reed, and that will confirm our quorum this evening. We have had proper notice of the meeting, and at this time I'd like to ask for any public comment, if there is any. Tim, did we have any from email?
We did not receive any public comment tonight.
Thank you. All right, next on the agenda is our consent of meeting minutes for the regular session of October 19th. Are there any additional comments or corrections for those meeting minutes?
No.
All right, we will go ahead and approve those by consent. Thank you. Our next item on the agenda is approval of claims and expenses. Tim, could you give us a rundown of those?
Yeah, nothing too out of the ordinary. We did have some of our engineering fees for our parking lot redesigns. They come in over time. All the Barnes and Thornburg is related to projects, both Founders Square and the 1300 block as we negotiate that contract. So those are all coming out of TIF. You'll notice that all our typical bills are doubled up. That's just because of the timing of when our last meeting was, when those bills come in. So that's October and November's expenses. And you'll also see the logo design as something we had committed to as part of the rebranding for the town. And that will be going to the town council at their next meeting, but that is our commitment in full.
All right. Does anybody have any questions or on those? All right.
I'll make a motion that we approve the claims as submitted.
A second? Great. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, those are approved. And the next item is our director's report from Mr. Tim Gropp.
Thank you. A lot of activity going on right now. We will be very busy internally as we're working towards the move to the new town hall. There's a lot of work. We're fighting the weather on the exterior right now. They are behind on that, so they're pouring concrete when they can. The footers for the bricks are in, so they should be putting brick up real soon here and working on just the windows as well. So we anticipate that they're going to get the base down for the asphalt, but they're going to have to come back in the spring, depending on what the weather does. If you get a heat up, we might be able to get top coat on, but typically at this time of year, we don't bank on that. So there might be a little bit of work that needs to be done in the spring when the weather breaks, but for the most part, we should be good to go, and we'll have a majority of the concrete work and fencing work and all that done here in the next couple weeks. They're working hard to try to get that done. Inside, everything's going really smooth. We're doing a lot of meetings on signage package, IT. So the town council approved the IT installation contract at their last meeting, so we've been working with IT to coordinate all that. Getting contracts in place for services, so we're close to having a fire monitoring service and figuring all those kind of little details out that you have to do to be able to move in. We're also meeting with moving companies to coordinate the move. It's obviously a complicated move because we have 3 different buildings plus a storage unit full of furniture. So we're going to use some of that, not use some of that, and being able to coordinate it and that is a complicated process, so we're working on that as well. So a lot of moving parts, the holidays mixed in there, and we're still hoping that the town's able to take over the building to start some of that process in early January, just with all the logistics that'll go along with that, as well as additional contracts that need to be put in place, fill in the gaps for processes, getting everyone comfortable in the new space, along with COVID restrictions that are probably going to go into the new year. We don't anticipate actually fully opening that building till the springtime sometime, but we're going to keep working on that and get this project done. It's really exciting. Happy to tour the facility with you guys anytime you want to take a walk through the building. Beyond that, Founders Square, we're trying really hard to wrap up our portion of that. So the paving job that was done wasn't done well, so they agreed. There were some reasons for that. So they have come and taken 1.5 inches off, and they're going to repave the top coat. I applaud them for being willing to do that and admitting that the work wasn't up to the quality that they expect either. So the problem that came with that is we kind of had to stop work order them because there was also a drainage problem up near Crawfordsville Road and Founders Square Lane where the water wasn't properly draining. So we're at a little bit of a stop before they repave. We might have to do a little drainage switch there and fix a problem there. This is not on the SRC. We built everything to spec, so this is somebody didn't catch something somewhere and we need to make a change. So we're working through whose responsibility that is and what the best solution is, but we want to get that done as soon as possible so we can get that top coat paved for the same reason for the town hall. We're running out of nice days. At the end of this week, we have some 60s in there we'd be able to pave, so we're hoping we can figure out a solution to this drainage issue and move on. At that point, there's still some street lights that need to go up, both at the intersection and in the development. We need to do a walkthrough checklist, but our portion is wrapping up as far as what we're responsible for. So we're excited for that. In the meantime, our first 3 projects have submitted their plans for review. They're being looked at the state level, at Indianapolis Metropolitan Planning, as well as internally for Speedway Utilities. So that's exciting, and hopefully real soon we'll be able to turn those lots over, and we'll be seeing some construction that is not ours on site, which will feel really good. So that's coming along. 1300 block, we have sent the rough draft of the EDA over to the developer. So we're in those negotiations, and last week we had the demo of 1330 Main Street, which was the last building that's part of this project. The clock shop is not part of the project and will remain as is. So we're excited that project's starting to make some headway. It'll be a lengthy process just to get through all the approvals and get the agreement put in place, but I think it's going to be a nice addition to Main Street. We also... Wilshaw, I was able to talk to them today. They're still working through getting bids back and figuring out the logistics between the two groups. They are planning on replacing the fencing that's been up there forever with a newer fence. That one's gotten beat up pretty well, so we look for that to happen pretty soon. And still anticipating no new construction or anything till the early 2021, as they work through just securing all the bank financing and all the modifications they might need to make and just tightening up the project. So they did. I've had a lot of people ask me about the construction trailer. That was a really large construction trailer, and they were paying about $1,500 a month to have it sit there. So MHG told them to just go ahead and pull it off for now. We can always bring back a smaller one when we need to start the project back up. So no need to panic on that side. That was more of a cost savings measure. And then 10th and Poco, that project, we got to do a final walkthrough on it, but that project is completed. Our fencing requirement is up. Our no trespassing signs are on it. And so from our commitment side, we are completed with that project. So we're excited that's finally done after multiple years of working through that issue. So that's all I have for you.
Great. Thank you so much for those updates. Do we have any questions for Tim? All right.
Nope.
Thank you so much. Next on our agenda, I see no new business and no old business.
I have one update.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
We did come to terms on 5242 Crawfordsville Road, which you had authorized us to do at our last meeting. So we will work through the paperwork on that and hope to close by the end of the year. And we're excited for that.
definitely.
What was that project?
It was a property purchase, 5242 Crawfordsville Road.
Great. Thank you so much for that, Tim. All right. Any comments or anything we'd like to share with the public?
Just keep supporting our Speedway businesses in this time. They can use all the help.
Yes, in the words of Tom Popcheff, keep, visiting our local businesses and supporting them. They need it now especially. We do have Small Business Saturday coming up right after Thanksgiving, so, your favorite neighborhood Speedway friends can always use gift certificates and et cetera from our local businesses, so. With that, we'll adjourn the meeting at 6:11.